Alright, what's up guys, Grez here, and I'm bringing you the beginning of a Dragon Age Origins Let's Play. Now this won't be the vanilla Dragon Age. I'm actually going to be doing one of the downloadable contents, oh that's the wrong button, which is a standalone campaign, the Golems of Amgarrak. The reason I'm doing this before I do my Dragon Age Let's Play is because Wings of Redemption has put out a Dragon Age challenge of sorts, and anyone who follows Machinima or Black Ops, Call of Duty in general, commentary has probably heard of Wings of Redemption. He's a great commentator, and this is a challenge, and so I'm accepting that challenge. Now, I've never played Awakening or any of its DLC. I've actually never beaten Dragon Age Origins. I've only gotten about halfway through. So, anyway, the challenge is to beat the Golems of Amgarrak with a brand new character, which is an option when you start it. Let's see if we can press play here and it'll load, and yes, see, create a new character. So the challenge is to beat that on Nightmare with a brand new character. It can be any class we want, but we just have to beat it. So I was pretty interested in that since I haven't done this DLC. So here we go. Also, I don't know if I've said this in one of my videos before, but if you hear stuff in the background, that's my birds. Yeah, I have a lot of birds, and they hang out in my room, and sometimes they can be a little loud. So until I can figure out a way to reduce the background noise, you're just going to have to enjoy the company of birdies. Okay, so for our character, I think we're going to be a dwarf. Dwarven rogue. And it's going to be female. You don't really see very many dwarven females, and their arms are kind of long. They have like orangutan arms. But other than that, I think they work pretty well in this game. And there's only one background, which is the Grey Warden, of course. Alright, so a female, dwarf, rogue, warden. All looks good.
Greetings.
And every time I look at a dwarf female, I think of one of my friends from high school. Like, this preset that's my friend. Like, legit. She's a small Russian girl, and that's like the exact image. Even the hairstyle, she has a little braid that goes down the side like that. It's kind of creepy, so I'm definitely not going to use that one. Thinking I might go more for something darker skinned. That skin is fine, actually. And let's change the hair to the one with the pigtails ones. Where's that? Good. There we go, that one's good. Hair color. Something lighter than that. Actually, dark is good. Usually I don't use black hair on the dwarves, but this one actually looks pretty good. Maybe if I just put it over... No. It's gotta be black, or brownish black. Let's go to the eyes. And actually the presets, they're pretty good for Dragon Age. They all look pretty decent at the very least. And I think this is good. Don't want to spend too much time on this. And Nika. This is also a thing. Nika is a pretty awesome name, in my opinion, and I think it fits pretty well. We will be changing the voice
Charmed.
to sultry, because I don't know. I always like that voice for pretty much every race. It's pretty good. And also the in-game, depending on which one you choose, like in combat, they'll your character will say like little phrases every once in a while, depending on the situation. So I always like the sultry ones.
It didn't work.
And sometimes the cocky and wise ones are
How do
also
you
funny.
read it? Charmed.
So I'm gonna go to the portrait. And I guess I'll have to use the sliders. I usually have a mod where I can just move it around and change it with my mouse, but this is good. And there's so many choices. What to pick? That one's good. Let's no, wrong one. Camera distance. And expression. You can get some goofy expressions. I mean, look at that. Oh, that's ridiculous. But that's sliders for you. I think that's everything. Skin, eyebrows, hair, portrait, and voice. I actually forget to add the voice half the time. So that's good for the character looks. Now the specializations. There's a bunch of different specializations, but and this DLC is compatible, or rather includes all of the skills and things that are added in Awakening. But since I haven't played it, I haven't unlocked any of them. But from what I hear, they're pretty powerful. So our four choices are Assassin, which is exactly what it sounds like. Increases my character's ability to deal damage and assassinate and things of that sort. Then you have the Bard, which is, you know, it tells tales and sings and things of that sort to give buffs to the party, which is pretty nice. We'll be using that as one of them. You got the Ranger, which can summon pets, which can be useful as sort of like a distraction. I've never really seen them as very powerful, but it can be useful still. And you got the Duelist, which is kind of like a dueling, exactly, like a one-on-one combat where it debuffs the enemy and buffs you with like parries and things of that sort. But for me, I'm gonna make this character a dual wield rogue, obviously a rogue, with full-sized weapons instead of daggers. Now in this game, there are several different ways to dual wield, such as you can do the double daggers, which is good for really fast attacks and high armor penetration, or you can use bigger, slower weapons that are considered full-sized weapons, as swords, axes, and maces. The larger weapons will do more DPS over all targets, but they aren't as fast. Still, I think we'll be using at least the main hand full-sized weapon. Okay, so we're gonna have Assassin as the other one. I wanna make this character like a hardcore DPS, so that I'll be able to do hopefully high enough DPS to take down the boss on Nightmare difficulty. Attributes. I've never had such a high level character before, as I've never finished the game, so this is a lot of points to spend for me. I do know where I'm gonna want 36 dexterity at least, so that I can get the dual wield talent, so that I can use full-size weapons in my offhand as well as my main hand. Willpower is pretty much determines how much stamina or mana they'll have, depending on your class. Stamina is pretty much what you use on each of your abilities to use them. And magic is obviously from mana and how much ability power, or is it spell power in this game? I think it's spell power. Cunning is useful for dagger rogues, and rogues in general. It governs over things like speechcraft and what is it? Is it lockpicking? I can't remember. But it also increases the damage of daggers, or of everything really, for a rogue, if you get a certain talent point. And I can't remember what it's called, but we'll get to that. I'm gonna want 18 cunning, I think. We'll come back to that maybe if I don't need that much. And I could use a couple points in constitution and willpower, and then pump the rest in strength. Because since we'll be using full size weapons, they gain 1 point of damage per strength, as opposed to the 0.5 per strength and 0.5 for agility that daggers get. So that's all of our points. Everything looks pretty good. I'm gonna go here. I'm actually just gonna put some points in right here and go to the next tab to see if it was 18. Yeah, it is 18 cunning that we'll need. So we'll clear this out. And I'm gonna want full cohesion. Is that right? Cohesion? Coercion? Somebody will have to correct me if I'm saying that wrong. Coercion. I've never had to actually say it since, well, never done a let's play of it. So I'm also going to want maxed out combat training. Each level of combat training allows you to train that relevant tier of combat abilities. So if I have tier 1 combat training and have all the first levels of dual wielding or archery or what have you, so you go all the way up. Since we're level 20, we'll need those higher tier abilities for more utility and higher capability for damage. I don't really know what rune crafting is about. I heard it could be pretty good, but I have no experience with it, and since I'm trying to do this on Nightmare, I need as much specialization as I can get. So vitality increases health. I don't know by how much, but I think it's 25 per level. And this is an awakening. Actually, these three are all awakening exclusive things. What are these called? It doesn't say. Skills. I guess they're just skills. And the other one is clarity, which increases your stamina and or mana. So I already have a point in poison making since I'm a rogue, which will be good. You only need 1 rank in poison to equip a poison, which is nifty. And I'm also have 1 point in trap making, just in case it gives us some traps to work with. I don't really know how this DLC will work, if we'll have like time to like harvest materials or get things like that. Alright, so here are all of the talents. You see up here is the assassin and bard trees for the 2 specializations I have, and they each have 4 skills. They got the Song of Valor, which will increase the regeneration of mana and willpower, or stamina? Can't remember. And you have Distraction, which is pretty much like a CC. I think. Yeah, Distraction. This is the one where I always think that excuse me. My character tells a really boring story, and the mob is just like in a daze because it was so boring. Yeah, but the one thing we really want from this is Song of Courage. Now, this is a spell that you activate, and it's an aura, and it goes into like a song or a battle song or what have you, and it increases the bonuses of attack, damage, and critical chance, which will help out a lot since it's over the entire party. I'm not going to get Captivating Song because I'm already going to have quite a few upkeep spells. That's what these type of spells are, where you activate them and then they have a constant effect. They're called upkeep spells, and they each have an upkeep of a certain amount of... Oh, there's my timer. Tune into the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.